There we are. We're recording. Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing? So, this is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching. It is the last day of the month, January 31st, and we have quite an interesting open. Pretty good gap down. Let's reference the good old phone since I don't keep that stuff on my desktop. And we are minus 185. I think I saw minus 230 overnight. Let's just kind of take it step by step and see what happens. I think that it'll be an interesting day. So before I get started, if you would like a pass to the room, this is how you get a hold of me, TRADEnPERFORM@gmail.com. And if you will read this quick disclaimer, fun and joy, which basically says past performance not indicative of future results. You can lose a lot of money trading futures, right? Make sure you have a great trade plan before you do it. I would suggest you use either Top Step Trader or Apex Futures Funding for your trading. It will make a massive difference in your P&L. So unlike yesterday, I've already tested out the algos. That's why you see, oh, you don't see. Let's see if we can add this to it because you don't see that box. I want you to see that box. So let's see if I can fix that. Screen capture, window capture, settings. Let's see if I can find it. Streamlabs. Rhythmic trader, square chart, Streamlabs. It just won't let me. So let's just add a new one here. We'll just delete this. Okay, and then let's add a source here. Window capture, display capture, window capture, add source. I know it's here. I'm looking at it. But the other one. There it is. Let's see if I can get that to match real quick. Sierra, boy, this is frustrating sometimes. Well, it's just not here at all. So I'm sorry about that. I will just, here, we'll just fix the problem. I'll just park it right over here on my chart. Here, I'll put it in the upper left-hand corner. I think that's as small as I can make it and still be able to see it. Yeah, so that's fine. That's fine. So you'll see I have $63 in profits already on the day. I had to test it to make sure I didn't have the same fiasco as I did from yesterday. All good now in that neighborhood. So I did a little review prior, right? So my biggest concern is really below Globex low at this point, because if you go back and look on the 5-minute algo, you'll see just through here, back on the 19th, this whole thing from really 17,410 all the way down to 17,203, that was a clear rip up, trend day up, and it can all get re-auctioned, right? So you can see in and around this area, the 17,421, This is pre-market swing now. We obviously have to break that to break to the upside. Here's Tuesday's. Wow, this is off. Let me fix that. Sorry about that. Tuesday's low. Please adjust that on your chart. Tuesday's high. Resistance at 16,654. I don't really have anything in between because I didn't use the profile. I'm just using these TnP levels. And my plan is to go through. So here's my trade plan. First of all, I am burning the first half hour. We have econ at 8:45, nothing at 9 o'clock. I will just burn the first half hour, and there's two concerns. First of all, we have a big gap down. Right now, our process has made incremental improvements over time, but you still can't beat that thing where you go on tilt, just like I did yesterday morning for about, and it was a short period of time, right? In about 10 minutes, I drew down $1,000. It's really uncharacteristic for my trading, and it took me a lot of mental work to stay on process and just get back to flat, right? So today I'm just going to simply burn the first half hour, watch and see what's happened. We haven't had fast rotations. We haven't had fast speed. We haven't had illiquidity in a long time. There's nothing wrong with looking at something and going, hey, is this a change in character or is this a one-day wonder? Do I see my setups working before I take them, or do I see them stopping before I take them, right? So one of the issues that's going to be really critical today, and I want to show you this. So if you'll look, one of the things that really helps, see when we start rips, so I'm going to show you upside and downside rips. See how we have this upside rip over here? See how there's not a single purple bar that goes off until right here, right? So I'm going to mark that off. If you wait for that purple bar to show up, you don't take infinite numbers of stops all the way through, even through here. If you wait for the purple bar to hit, I'll show you that earlier, you don't take stops. Now, the problem is if it just turns and burns like this, that sucks. But that's better than getting ripped for what turns out to be a 100-point run because you misjudged where they were going to turn it, right? You wait for that purple bar and it tells you that they're starting to try to attempt to turn momentum, right? Same thing with the pink bar. See when they're coming all the way down here? If you wait for this and then you start looking for your longs. Now, the other thing that invalidates it, and I'm going to show you in just a second. So first let's go do these. This is for the long. This is for short. This is for short. Okay? So now if you come and look at your 50-cent chart, and it's not copying over. Hold on a second, I'll fix that. Chart number 5. 5. What's that? Comma 5. Okay, now there we are. Okay, so here's your this is the indication for the long. So I want you to tie it up. Watch. Momentum has changed right here because of the pink bar. Your next algo in the direction up pays. If you wanted to press the short, right, momentum has changed, orange dot to the downside. Now, as you're going up, right, notice you don't have to guess in any of this because you don't have the purple bar till right there. Now, start taking your next dots in the direction of, right there. There's one, there, that was a stop. Second one paid you. Okay, and now you're gonna have, should be a second one, did I miss it? That was the second one, where's the first one? Oh, no, that was right, that was the first one. So if you look, purple bar, right? Short, stopped, short, paid, short, paid in the direction of. And notice on the rip down, we still, what we're looking for, this is where you're looking for a pink bar, right? So again, this is pre-market, but again, if I was looking for that, I'm looking for this. So now comes the question of what invalidates, and I'm going to show you in just a second. The way you avoid your stops, okay, so especially where we have the possibility of trend day down, is if you get 1, 2, 3, 4 bars down in a row that are all touching the fourth channel or below, that invalidates your long signal and will save you from the stops. It's same on top for the shorts. So if you look, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's a debate between Sean and I whether it's 5 or 4. The conservative is 4. The aggressive is 4. The conservative is 4. The aggressive is 5. Right. So if you look from that, now what you would end up with is this bar right over here. Right. Because you're not going to trade because you got those 4 in a row. Right. Now you get the bar. Now this is your short right here. Right. So again, I want to say that 4 or 5 bars in a row, you have to pick your poison, right? Invalidate the long, just like here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm waiting for a new pink bar up. Why? I don't feel like getting my butt kicked, right? And that invalidates it. It invalidates it both in the algos that we're working on. It invalidates it here, and it works really beautifully. It will keep you out of some trades, but it will keep you out of a whole bunch more stops. Okay, so just write it down. It's easy. Four 50-cent bars at or below the fourth bottom channel, or at or below the top fourth channel, right? Wait for the next purple or pink bar to come off the 24 tick. Very simple, and it's a great way to keep you from triggering into shorts that would otherwise stop you out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to cover this morning. Trap stars into stars, I'm definitely looking for, right? Star gets stopped out like this, trap back in. They're just great trades, right? And then we're just looking for kind of that Goldilocks area where everything lined up at one time and we don't get smothered. Be prepared for a fast market. I'm planning to relax. I have my cup of coffee. I am planning to relax for the next 30 minutes. Once we open, we have the 8:45 data, and then I will turn everything on at 9 o'clock. There is no econ at 9 o'clock, and I'll take whatever they give me. It is Fed day as well. I will not be trading the Fed. Specifically, I will not be trading the Fed. So that is followed up by a 1:30 p.m. conference call. You don't need the Fed to make just a boatload of money, guys. It's not required. You know, it's not required, and it doesn't help. I don't have anyone in the room who's like, man, I'm so glad I traded that Fed day. It made me $1 million. Not once, right? I've blown out my Apex accounts, or I've blown out my Top Step accounts, or I really took a drawdown by trading on Fed day. And the easiest way to handle that is by taking the day off. The easiest way to handle that is by taking the day off, right? So at any rate, I'll run it till 10:30, 9 to 10:30, and then I'm done for the day. I just don't care to push my luck on a Fed day. And if you're good at doing it, that's great. I don't need it, and I don't want it. My goal is to get somewhere between $500 and $1,000 in P&L and go to a nice lunch, and then I have a few coaching sessions in the afternoon. Any questions? So we're running the same program as we did yesterday, today. Oh, and we'll use the 5 minute to determine balance for near-term control of the market, right? And look for the break above or below with an orthodox close above and below. Okay, please have your tilt signatures in front of you. This is me the first day where we haven't had a nasty gap down on a Fed day, a lot of cross currents in quite a while, right? We've gotten pretty comfortable with almost every day being some degree of profitable, either very profitable or a little profitable. I really have not heard from anyone in the room who's like, I'm just taking drawdowns. There is one person struggling. I'm going to get that person up to speed. But other than that, everyone seems to be doing pretty well, and everyone's really buying into the program of, you know, the 300 a day, 20 accounts, 10 months, 4 days a week, $1 million, right? It's not hype, or variations thereof, right? The key to that whole thing is don't blow up your Apex account, right? That's the key to the whole deal. Trade so small you just can't blow it up, and accept your limitations, which I was right on the edge of yesterday, by the way. $1,200 is the max I will take down. I'm pretty sure I was down $1,000 at the low. I was very grateful to be able to bring that thing back. And I did it by calming my happy butt down and following process. I didn't do great. It wasn't exactly going to make the ESPN highlights. It was dirty work, but it got it done. and I was grateful for it, right? So, anyone have any questions? Everyone ready? Could be a good day. Could be a good morning. We'll just see how much volatility there is, or see if they shut it down like they have other mornings, right? That's really the interesting question: is do we open and shut down, or do we get some VIX, some elevated VIX readings? And then the real important thing is, can we carry elevated VIX levels into tomorrow, right? But your stress levels, guys, as a team, I'm telling you, the stress levels should be lower, your confidence should be higher, and your focus should be clearer on what you're looking for, and you should be reading the market less. Now, once you make $1 million and you have room to swing and let trades come against you and stop you out and all that, hey, be my guest, swing away. But right now, most of you are in the let me build and grab the money, and $300 a day across 20 accounts is $6K, That solves a lot of people's problems, and there's not a person in this room that's not capable of averaging $300 a day. Not one. There's not one guy or gal in here who cannot average $300 a day. And if you'll accept that humble little number, right, we're exceeding it. Most days we're hitting 500 to 1,000, right? So if you'll accept that humble little number and you won't burn yourself down on the off days, right, you will get there. You can sustain a negative day even and be okay, right? If you do, so let me just run the numbers, right? If you do 4,000, right, and you have one day where you draw down 1,000, so that's 3,000 divided by, well, really it's 4 days, but here, we'll do it over 5 days. 3,000 divided by 5. Still $600 a day, right? It's still $600 a day. Okay, which is double the target. You can sustain a down day. You can sustain a down day and still make the money. Pure and simple. There's just no more. There's no more to it. And so I know I'm looking forward to making some money today. But whatever I make, I'll be grateful for it, and then I'll roll right out. So if you give me just a second, I actually want to see if I can find a. I meant to plug in this computer with a cat cable. See if I can get it. Too short. I don't think it will reach. It will not. They usually have more than one cat cable here. This one will reach. Let's see where my. Oh, very interesting. Okay, well, no dice. This laptop, you cannot plug into a cat cable. I've never seen that. That's fine. It'll be replaced. It's my wife's. I'll get one where you can. That's all to it. And there's the open. And let's see what we do. I see the problem here. It won't show up on the screen. It disappears every time I touch the screen, right? Okay, what we'll do to fix that is this. Come here, and then we'll do this. That's not very good. Well, I guess in this case I can just wave it down like this, right? That's pretty darn close. Oh, something in the program that makes that jump. I'll just scoot it over an inch until I find a more elegant solution. Again, I'm just watching and letting the time burn. Here's where we are just to get your bearings on the 5-minute chart, right? Which is we're above Globex low, below Tuesday's low, and below resistance this 21 to 410, which I have as resistance. And the obvious target is to come down and retest Globex low, or come all the way down to 17,203, one of the two. And we'll just mark it out like that, see how it goes. So here's your, just coaching it through. Again, I did not trade it. There's the pink bar. There's the, it actually came out on a down bar here. And then here's your orange dot up for the long on the 25 cent. And there it is on the 50 cent for the long. Quite straightforward. Up to retest that 17,417 area. And again, guys, just to show you, the stops that it saves is this, into this, into this. Well, this third one worked, right? But it keeps you from all of these traps in here running you over, right? And you'll see where that stopped was right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Which is, wait for the pink bar now. And if you want the short, wait for the purple bar and hope it backside tests. So once that purple bar there is printed, right, on a retrace back up, if I was being aggressive, I would look for the short. Okay, so now I'd want it to retrace at least one bar back up. And on the 25, 2 bars. And it doesn't matter to me that it just turns and burns. That's really okay with me. And the long signal is still valid until we get 4 bars on the 50 cent, which is this chart right here. That long signal is still valid if we get it from over here as well. So you can have both sides valid for setup. Again, obviously below prior day's low, we have not closed back into prior day's range, and we have a wide initial balance, right? Well, got it, Teja. Better? See that? That's the risk I have by waiting for that purple bar, but I'm happy to wait for it, right? That technically was a stop right there. You're taking the orange dot down, orange dot up on the 25 cent. I did not, obviously. And we have econ in 5 minutes. Star down stuffed. It's usually good for a lift. And then watch for it grabbing that 4th rail, right, and starting into a trend down type behavior. Or trend up. Doesn't matter which one you want to use as your model. So that's 1, 2, 3, a 4th bar would force me to wait for a, on that 50 cents, would force me to wait for a pink bar, especially in this situation where it's gap down, sell pressure to the downside, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then also potential tweezers bottom there. Went into the number. So orange dot up on that 50 cent. Now you could have a trap on this over here. But now you've grabbed, see this 1, 2, 3, 4? For me, just, unless you're paying that trap off the bottom, I'd rather wait for a pink bar to set up. It will save you your stops. It'll cost you some good trades, a few good trades, but it will save you your stops. Trying to trap. Star trap back in. Finally got it. Star up, get stopped out. It's usually pretty powerful. Again, the one thing that will keep you out of losses is once you get this, wait for the pink bar over here and then hope for the retrace. Personally, I'd rather miss, knowing that I have a high odds of getting paid afterwards, than concern about getting repeatedly stopped in a downdraft. And the context here is very different from other days where we're above prior day's low and testing IB low. We really want to see it above IB high for a break back to retest yesterday's low, right, is what we want. Which is way up there at 17,520, right? But I don't want to be a hero down here underneath prior day's low. Not my, and that's exactly what I'm talking about, where you take the star and you're like, oh, you got stuffed. Right? Much easier to do it the other way around and wait for the pink bar. Is that confusing to anybody? Tasia, you get that? Ed, that makes sense to you? Randy's not here today, but that should click with all of y'all. Like it just keeps you out of that free fall. The anti-argument is, well, it also keeps me out of this, but I don't care about this. I care about my stops, or at least have a decent attempt at grabbing control. Right? You can still have stops along the way, but much better than getting clocked all the way through that. There's the econ. They can't print that 6950, they're toast. And we're going to take out that Globex low, which makes sense. Dot down, star down. I should release to the Globex low. That's not the same as me telling you to short the low of the day, by the way. I'm just reading the direct PA. like I said, this is all fine by me because I've got to see a pink bar on that 24 tick before I do anything. So I'm not getting chopped, I'm not getting stressed, totally good. Maybe bored. Pink bar, now I can look for the pullback for the potential long. I'm still inside IB low, so it's not still lining up for me, which is fine. Here, I'll mark off where the pink bar comes. So you mark it one bar over because that's where this bar ends, right? So you don't have econ at 9 o'clock, so if you're willing to trade in that chop, that's your own choice there. Like I said, you'll see these are still valid. Over here to the short side, the orange dot's down. Purple bars are still valid to the short. It's the long that wasn't valid until we got this pink bar. All right, so we're working against IB low. I'd really like to see that Globex low tested if we can get it. The pace is really slowed down, which is good. That means that we should get our rotations, at least our micro rotations. Again, no speed, right? That even though we're down a lot. And look, we just can't get any significant rotation with any speed. Look how slow it is. You'll see these little micro shorts are working here. See that? Bam, 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 bam. So as soon as I get past the next 5 minutes, I may attempt a few, some of those. The pace is kind of surprising, especially what we had after market was much more robust, and pre-market was actually much more robust. But just take your trades on setup. I just expect it to be faster. Watching for that star to get trapped in on the 50 cent. No big seller or buyer, one way or the other. Pretty relaxed on the volume. Well, that was a lot quieter than I expected. And I'm willing to take my trades now. The slow pace is eerie. I would have thought fast. I'm looking at a potential short at 17,374.50, just experimental on the 25 cent. See that orange dot there, so I know if it closes down, there'll be orange dot up, orange dot down. Short, stop's already in place. Oh, it's not picking up the where the short is. The stop's at just past 82, 82 quarter. Looks like that's going to get hit. Nope, not yet. I don't know why it's not carrying across, so I'll work on that in just a sec. Stopped. You can see my P&L there. Back to 0. Shorts harder than longs. same trade. So 38 against 84, 78 against 84. Interesting. That should fall away pretty quickly. That was actually a trap back in. Got it. That puts me back. You see my P&L now. It's at 106 for the day. I don't know why this is not picking up the trades. Trade. Show order fills. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. There you go. So stop, entry, paid, and still profitable on the day. Good job, Tasia. The stops are fine. They're part of the business, right? So they shouldn't be freaking you out at all. But I just expected kind of more volatility. I don't know. Did anyone else? Like I'm kind of generally, This is going to pop up as a short again if that fills at 34. Oh no, it didn't. It didn't trigger the algo. So I just didn't expect this PA. Like the rotation's been sub 30 points on a big gap down day for the last 10 minutes. Like I just thought different. That's all. Anyone have a read besides me? Choppy, 2-point spread, 2 contract buy order. My second fill was 2 points lower. Wow, that sucks, Ed. I'm just kind of sitting still. It's chop chop shitty. I'm testing an auto trader, by the way, so on these fills on the 25 cent, if it fills all of a sudden I don't call it, it's because the computer did it, not I. Like if I don't see it coming and all of a sudden you see me in a trade. I agree. Just a sloppy market. The star up there worked, and the star into star, which I did not take. So, what do I know? I just thought we'd have wider rotations. That's all. See, like that's gonna pop me in on the short. That's called I don't trust it. I mean, look at this. We're just building for a move. Is it up or down? I don't know. I can argue for up here, or I can argue for down here. So I'm just gonna scalp it while the scalping's going good. So that bids me up $1.42 for the day, and I'm all right with that. If I have to inch my way to a couple $100, I will. Well, that looks like that was a pretty golden short, but that's all right. Oh, let me try. Let me see. Data limiting. Okay, here we'll try again. Reload, recalculate. Any better? Okay. So I expect that Globex low to get tested or worse. Like the real concern down here is if you go look at that 9th, the date from the 9th, look here, I'll just put it up. Oh, I already posted a picture of it. Like, go look, it's here. So here I put this. Hey Sean, can I move the the number 26 ID 26? Can I slide it to the top of that list without affecting affecting the execution on that? Because I had to scroll all the way down to turn it on and off. One, two, three. We get one more bar outside. Now I need a pink bar before I take a long. Even if I miss the turn, I'm all right with that. Right? As long as I am green, I do not care how many turns I miss. All I care about are the ones that set up to give me super high odds of getting paid. Yeah, the trader itself, can I move it on the one I'm testing? Can I move this modular auto trader? It's number 26, the ID. See, if I move it up, the number changes, but the ID stays the same. So I should be able to move it to the top instead of keeping it at the bottom, correct? But if the ID doesn't change, does that matter? In other words, or the number itself matters. This number on the left. I'll leave it where it is if it affects it. I don't want to screw with it. That would suck. Okay, got it. We just need to rework it so it's at the top, because when you're trying to operate it quickly, you have to scroll all the way down to turn it on. And anyways, yeah. So here, let me cancel. I'm looking for the long. F6. It's still cumbersome as hell. Thank you, Bill. Settings. Enabled. Okay, okay. Now I just have to turn it on. I mean, enable it, which should be under trading unlocked. Okay. Again, I'm waiting now for the pink bar to show up. Once I have the pink bar, I'll go back in and look for the longs. Now I have the pink bar. Right, we hit, so just fair warning, we hit Globex low. If they turn and burn on that, that's okay, but you'd really kind of like to see them burn that baby down, you know? Not just, oh, we tagged it, let's get all the retail traders in who trade Globex low in a down market below prior day's low, and you know, below prior day's low, below the IB low. Like, here's how I would have rather traded that. If we could have set the 5 minute over here, right? If we could have set the 5 minute over here. Interesting, it didn't take it. It flagged, it just didn't trigger. Let me take a picture. Where's my phone? Oh, never mind. Sean, that last message, I had it locked. So that's why I didn't take the trade, which is fine. That's what I wanted. Bye. I love you. Have a great day. I'm very suspicious of the lack of speed, and I may be wrong about that, guys. So just heads up, I may be very wrong about that read. Right? They may go, hey, that's Globex low. We tagged it, auction complete to the downside, and we're coming back to IB low. I completely accept that I may be on the wrong read there. But I would have accepted some, this may be the old trader in me, I would have expected some violence into that Globex low and some fear, and instead we got all the retail guys going, hey, come on, let's go. Great job, Tasia. You're doing better than I am today. Everyone's been outperforming me lately, but I'll catch up. that was quite the honor. Okay, thank you, brother. Choppity chop chop chop. This is going to flag me on a long. I didn't intend to take that. It's just the auto trader did it. That's how much I like that trade. I was like, yeah, you can have that one. That auto trader is going to kick me into a bunch of trades I wouldn't otherwise take, just FYI. And I may regret it. I'm going to have to get used to it taking it for me. If we perfect that correctly, it'll lift a lot of our load off of having to trade off that 25 cent. So I'm going to just have some goofs on it. That's all there is to it. Right? So now they're trying to double bottom without even. The reason I bailed on that is normally I would expect a tweezer's bottom on this or a stop this out and then trap back in deal. That's why I didn't like that trade. We're heading into 924 right at the Globex low. Like, to me, that's just a little too cute. I'm probably wrong, right? Obviously, I left a lot of money on the table this morning on all my trades by cutting them short. So I'm struggling with the pace, right? And I'm all right with struggling with the pace. That's actually okay with me. Yeah, I may be wrong. I may be wrong. Like I said, we are at Globex low. You just think they'd want to go ahead. What I was looking for on the 50 cent, or what I'm still looking for, is double or triple dots down to show me I have a big seller in there. And then get above the guy, and then we can push and short squeeze them up into the Fed meeting. But I'm not looking for the buyers. I'm looking for the sellers. I mean, just the inability to get quick 20, 30 point snaps sucks, right? Like normally you'd expect it, bam, 20 points, 30 points, bam, 20 points, 30 points. Instead we're like 55 to 35 in a slow grind balance, right? And consolidating at the low of the day without any speed. So when your 25-cent chart looks like that, right, that is negatory. Okay, it should look like so big and so fast because it's so tiny. It should look like it's, going across the whole world, not consolidation on a 0.25 10 tick chart. And what really tells me that, so look, this tells me where all the trades are executing short and long, right? So this side is short, this side is long. So see all these? See all these? These are all, it's just all chop, 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 right? Who wants to get stopped on that, on that, on that? Like those should be punching like 30, 40, 50, 60 up there. Instead it's just a grinder, right? So I'll just leave it alone. That's star into star, by the way, and I'm still leaving it alone. I just don't like the way we are forming up here. That's a close below. They'll attempt to trap, but I'm going to go with a prove it to me before I take it. I'm just going to go with, hey, it's okay to miss this kind of thing because I know what's off to the left and I know what's likely to happen quite often, which is that whole thing gets reauctioned down and it's slow-mo too. So I'm just on patience mode. And y'all know I love to trade. I have a record low number of trades here for a day like this. But it's Fed day, it's below prior day's low, it's underneath IB high and IB low and underneath Globex low now, right? Change the condition for me, for me to get aggressive so I don't give back money. That's what I would argue. So now, 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. I need a pink bar up and I'll start the cycle over again. Okay? This will save you from the infinite stop cycle that we get from trading on small bars when it starts grinding up and down just in a straight line to the downside. Also notice all the angles, ES and Q, look at ES, no lift, everything to the downside. It is all right, especially since we're predominantly focused as long side traders, it is all right not to burn up your energy trying to trade this, right? We want beautifully rotating markets up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Not, right? Not, oh, maybe it'll make it, maybe it won't kind of thing, where we take multiple stops in a row and it's demoralizing and frustrating, right? And also our rate of rotation is slow and the size of the rotation itself is slow, right? Very hard to take it off a 50-cent chart when your long is triggering and then the upside of this is from 35 to 50 where it's triggering and 55 to 60 is where the peak of that rotation is, and we're not breaking swings, right? So you just got to stay chill on that. We'll get our market. But you see, I'm executing, even for Mr. Hyper Scalper here, I'm not executing anything. I'm really grateful to have a couple $100. It's more than a lot of knife catchers are dealing with today. Look at that, like new lows and like 1 point per minute on NQ. And to remind everyone where we're at, it's this, right? That. Okay. That was January 19th. That's right where we are. And we just went trend up all day long in there. Just opened up and went all the way through. So guess where all the stops are? Right down here, right? And we did not go through there fast either. If you look, it was a pain train of up, right? So again, just don't beat yourself up. That was the 19th of January if you want to go take a closer look at it. Nice, nice guy. Short side. So your focus is going to change because as a team, we really don't take stop after stop after stop in this process anymore, right? And so then you're going to switch to feeling like you missed the trade, missed the trade, missed the trade, right? Don't worry about it, right? Because your focus before was going to be the focus before is how do I stop all these stops, right? Now your focus is, because you're not taking all those stops, is going to be why am I not catching all these trades, right? Why am I not catching the little rippers back up? You got to remember where you were and what the improvement was over that, so you can base the performance in this market, right? And back when this room started, way back when, these days were just nightmares. And the reason they were nightmares is because I would have more support levels. I'm better at the support levels now too, but we keep hitting those levels, and I'd keep going long until I got my 4 max stops for the day, and then I'd just be stressed and pissed. This is a whole lot better. And then I'd have to use the next 2 days to pay for that one day. Instead, I got $163 and a possibility of still hitting my number. And if I don't hit my number, I do not care. So without that pink bar forming over here, as far as I'm concerned, with the 4 bar rule, just saves me a massive amount of pain, right? So I just wait till I see that pink bar appear again, and then I know I can go back to work. But I don't have to do anything until I see that. And if it just stops, drops, and rotates all the way back up, that's okay. It's not the market I make money in, right? It's just, for me, it's too much stress and too hard with futures to catch that V. And it's been my experience that I get, it's been my experience that I just do a better job with waiting for that market, that two-sided market. Again, all of this keeps me from stops fill. And if you don't have a better valuation than that, I shut it off. I'll wait till the pink bar goes and then I'll turn it back on. It's not fully automated, Tasia, nor is it designed to be. So it won't be back on until I turn the pink bars on. Until I see the pink bars come on. And as far as I can tell right now, I'm just as happy as a pig in a blanket, whatever the hell that means, that I'm not getting annihilated. Yeah, not pretty. You have, here, you have a decent seller now, finally. Right there. So you know we've got to get past this to go higher. And again, the pink bar over here, really critical. I'm pretty cool with all this. This is great. You know, other than I wish I was short. Shorting at the low is not my thing. And just look at that. Just yuckala. Right? Like some people are really getting smashed trying to figure out that low. And I don't have to. Yep, agreed, Joshua. Tomorrow, yeah, I mean, that pink bar, it just makes life so much freaking easier. Like, yeah, just you can just relax. You don't have to figure out where the bottom is. Just wait till it prints. The speed is bizarro, I will tell you that. Good deal. Hey Siri, set an alarm for 5 a.m. tomorrow.
I've turned on your coaching alarm at 5 a.m.
Once I see that pink bar, I'll go back to work. See you in just a second. Okay, guys, on YouTube, thank you for joining. As you can see, that pink bar is extremely valuable. If you'd like to visit the room, it's TRADEnPERFORM@gmail.com, and I'll be back with a trade review some point later today. So have a